Good. So I'm here with Steve Kaplan.
Great to see you.
Father of World of Armwrestling League. Yeah, here.
Yeah, for now, yeah.
So please tell us a little bit about yourself, because I know a lot of people, our viewers are from USA and Europe, and Europeans don't know a lot about you. So
Right. Well, I was introduced to the sport in 2014, in early 2014, and I was touring after Afghanistan, talking to the troops about getting jobs in businesses, and my background is in business, and I've owned several of them. And when I was there, I kept seeing our troops in full-on gear, like arm wrestling, in really like intense quarters. This is all around the country. I mean, all kinds of borders. And I understood it, because it's like hours of boredom and like minutes of terror and tons of testosterone, right? And so
nothing better to do.
Yeah, so they have to burn it off, and they're gonna just punch each other out. But it was really, I immediately connected with it, and then I got back, and then there was a show called Game of Arms that I was not involved in the show, but I did do some consulting on that show a little bit, and I went out and met the guys. And I fell in love with the sport after I actually got to meet the culture and the character of an arm wrestler. And it's the same everywhere in the world. And that's really what hooked me in, mostly.
So it started in 2014 with all the league. There's a big tournament at the end of Game of Arms.
Yes.
Yeah, and on 2015 you took over, basically.
Well, they're separate things. The league and the show are not connected at all.
Yeah.
Totally different. It just happens that the cast of the show is also in the league. But part of what we did is we had a big event that we ran just to see what would happen, and we had about 1,000 people around the Mandalay Bay, Las Vegas, just coming to compete and check it out. And we did that in 2000. That was our first one. And from there, it just kept on rolling. And for me, what I love about it is it's a chance. I'm a huge sports fan, and I love the sport now, the technique, and mostly the competitors. But it allows to create the sport to make it reborn in a new point of view for the viewer, for the fan, and our perspective is to transcend the world of arm wrestling and to make it everybody. So everybody in the world, to make it a mainstream sport, which is controversial to
it's hard,
a lot of things.
But I think you're doing a very good job at that. All the broadcasting, I think World Arm Wrestling is very popular. Like all those matches have hundreds of thousands of viewers, and fans are waiting for these matchups that will happen today. And I remember, but you changed the format in the last 2 years for going to super matches. Before that, it was tournaments. I remember the first tournaments where, like you said, like 1,000 people came in just to compete and watch. Why is the change of
right, and it's all with an evolution. So what we needed to do is we needed to have competition, and the battle, the tournaments, not just with WAL, but any tournament anywhere. There's such a battle. There's such long-term wars that the two men standing at the end have gone through like battles, and there's something poetic and beautiful about that. But when you look to it and say, how do you build a league and how do you build a sport, you can't do that if you don't know who the competitors are at the end. And in a tournament,
you need to know the personalities.
You need to know, but you need to know a month ahead of time or 2 months ahead of time. Tonight we have Michael Todd and Dave Chafee. It's an epic match, and if you're doing a tournament, it's very fair to assume that they would be the last men standing anyway, but you don't know. I mean, it depends on
everything can happen.
Yeah, the draw. I mean, you know more than I do. The draw, whatever. So for us, we set up a fight card. So it's better for promoting, better for marketing. We can spend a month promoting, Justin Bishop and Mike Celieris and Dave and Michael, and we know exactly who's there. We could create matchup cards. It's a better show. And if we're in the world, which we are at WAL, of trying to reach millions instead of tens of thousands, then we have to be able to structure in ways
so that they can learn.
Yes.
Tell that story.
Yeah, so they learn, and they will learn us through our athletes. We're all about promoting the competitors, not the league. Nobody knows, really, FIFA. They know Messi. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? They don't care. They know FIFA, but they don't care.
Yeah.
Right. Same with the NFL, and it's fine. That's how it should be.
It's a little bit closer to what the UFC is doing. A little bit the model is the same because it works. It works great. Sport was 25 years ago. So no one knew what it was. Now it's because
everywhere.
Yeah. So for today's matchups, do you have some favorites? Or let's not pick favorites, but pick the match that you really want to see for today's card, like which you're very excited about.
There's a few. I mean, obviously, of course, Mike and Dave. I mean, you know, it's when we just were discussing that. I put my commissioner hat off, and as a fan, I'm like, I'm right up front for that. I can't wait to see that. But also, I'm interested to see how Krasimir does against Marcio. I think that to me is a really great match because similar
styles.
Yeah, and our styles make matches, right?
Yeah.
And it's interesting. So whereas with Dave and Mike, you have completely contrasting. You have a hit and a catch, right? Versus Marcio and Krasimir, which you have, you know, two bangers coming on. You know, that to me is exciting. And Krasimir, this is his second time here. So every time somebody new competes in the WAL, with our venue, rules are a little bit different, you know, pads are a little different, the crowds are different, the cameras. It's hard your first time.
Yeah.
And also on top of it, for Krasimir, his first time he had Dave. Welcome to the WAL, you know. But it was what it was. But it's different this time. He's not, you know, it's not, you know, it's not new, so he knows what to expect. So I'm really interested in that. You know, it should be fun.
Yeah, I think the card today is amazing. A lot of good matchups, and like you said, like Krasimir versus Barboza. I think that will be a hook war.
Yeah.
I think girls will have a hook war too.
Yes.
It's Nancy Locke and Mallory Beach. You know, that matchup will be good.
It's great to have Nancy back in the sport.
Yeah, the first match she had versus Clarkson.
Victoria.
Yeah, Victoria Clarkson. Oh, that was, I think, the best card. Well, the best match on the card.
I think they got a match of the night. Yeah, they did. And
so, season. How long is the season? How many events have you planned? I know without all these super match series, there's also some local tournaments going on. It's a part of this.
It is. So again, we're every year we're getting bigger and trying to be smarter with what we're doing. So this year we had 16 events. We have 6 majors, like 5 of the major events, and then the 6th is like a champion night. The other thing we changed this year is because it's fight card. Like tonight's a heavyweight championship match. Like whoever wins that will be the current heavyweight, and it's interesting. And then next week we have Dave and Devin Larry. It's another great. It's holy cow. So there's some really exciting things. So as we look till next year, we're looking at more events.
Yeah.
And a series underneath the major series where people can progress up to
get to the show.
Yes, to get to the show, and then we're also looking at having of our majors next year. We really want to have 2 outside of the U.S. We really need to start doing that outside of the U.S. And we're not exactly sure where. We have really big fan bases in certain countries, and we'll see how that, you know.
Latvia is open to options.
Yes, yeah, right. It's a great market. Yeah, sure it is.
I really appreciate bringing on all the European pullers for North American event, because we have a lot of great pullers, and Krasimir and Giannis and Tom Holland is here, and on many events, and Swedish girls, crazy strong.
Yeah.
Like some of the most enjoyable matchups, and I know women don't get that much of respect in this sport. People don't like that, fans don't like that much, you know, only hardcore fans, but the matchups are really great. Thank you for all your hard work.
No, thank you, man.
I'm very excited for this.
And thank you guys for what you're doing. I love your show. I watch it all the time.
Thank you. Thanks. Thank you.